welcome. Today we are having a grounding Reiki Yoga class to celebrate the energy of Mercury moving into Aries. So feel free to say hello, let us know where in the world you are joining from, and I will talk just a little bit about today's practice and then we will get going. So for today's practice, I recommend having blocks handy if you have them. If you do not have blocks, you can bring some books, or you can bring some throw pillows, or maybe a folded up blanket, a folded up towel, just something to help bring the floor a little bit closer to your hands. And then if you would like to have a blanket nearby, that might be beneficial for the Reiki energy transmission at the end of the practice. Hi Alex from Philadelphia, welcome. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I am a Reiki Master and a yoga instructor, and I am joining you guys from Northern Illinois. So, I lost my thought for a second. So today's going to be a 45-minute practice, and then the last 10 to 15 minutes will be our long savasana where I transmit Reiki energy. So during the practice, we will be grounding through our bodies. So what is grounding and why do we do it? Grounding is simply taking your thoughts out of the future and out of the past, and bringing all of your awareness into this present moment. So only being aware of your body and what is currently happening right now, and this is also without placing judgment. So simply noticing if you're using words today such as good or bad, and try to stay away from those judgment type of words. I can't talk today. Even with Mercury and Aries, we're supposed to be on fire. Marissa, good morning from New York. Welcome. Paula, hello from North Carolina. Beautiful. Thanks for joining, guys. If you are not familiar with Reiki, Reiki is a Japanese energy healing modality. It translates into, Rei translates into a higher intelligence, and Ki is the Japanese word for prana, life force, energy. So the Reiki practitioner, myself, will channel Reiki energy from source out to all of you. So it is not my energy, I'm just a channel, and I connect to the web of interconnectedness where time and space do not exist. So if you intend to receive the Reiki, you will receive the Reiki. If you enjoyed today's session and you would like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, that is always greatly appreciated. You can follow my Insight Timer profile if you're not following me already. And if you'd like to work one-on-one with me after today's session, you can find my website on my Insight Timer profile. So today we are working with the energy of Mercury in Aries. Mercury entered Aries yesterday. Mercury is the planet of thoughts, communication, ideas, how we manifest from our thoughts and ideas. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. He is cardinal fire. He is ready and roaring to go. So some things that you might notice, Mercury is going to be in Aries until April 29th. So a whole month of Mercury in Aries. You might notice a lot of quick thinking, quick to make decisions, taking the fluff out of things, just very direct as far as your thought processes. Lots of new ideas. This is a good time for sparking new ideas and getting them going. So from now till the end of April, if there are maybe new prosperous ideas that come into your head or just new ways of thinking about situations in your life, I suggest running with them because Aries wants to spark that fire within you, and it also wants to get you going. Some of the low sides of Mercury in Aries might be jumping to conclusions, speaking out of turn because you're so excited, you have all that fire energy just ready to go, and lacking common sense is another just low expression of this energy. So astrology never dooms you to only the negatives or only the positives. So you always have the choice to choose how you use this energy. So just know that those are some things that you might want to be weary of. Mercury in Aries helps with direct and assertive communication. but not in a mean way. Like you can take it either way. So you might find yourself being more direct, being more forthcoming with just what you want to say to people. It's about getting to the point, less fluff, less blah, blah, blah. Just say it and get out. So today in our yoga practice, we are going to embrace that energy of quick thinking, bringing us into this new season of spring. We're in the Aries season, and now we have Mercury joining us. Like, we're ready to go. It's time to get the wheels turning, time to get stuff in motion. So our practice today is going to be creating some fire and warmth within ourselves. So, without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to start in an easy pose, so coming to a comfortable seated position on your mat. If you would like to sit on a chair for this, that is totally fine, however you are comfortable. If you are just joining, I do recommend having blocks ready for today and perhaps a blanket if you get cold during our long shavasana. So finding your comfortable seat, wherever and however that may be. Feeling your sit bones grounding firmly into the mat or the surface beneath you. Perhaps choosing to close down the eyes as we scan over the body, just tuning in with where we are right now. And bringing all of your awareness inside your head, feeling beneath the skin within the entire head space. Feeling behind the eyes, behind the nose. Coming down, feeling into the neck. Just acting as the curious observer, noticing any sensations, any temperatures, any pulses of energy. As you move down into your shoulders, choosing to relax any tension you may find along the way. Sending your attention down the length of the arms. Feeling into your hands and into each finger. Bringing your awareness to your chest, feeling into this space, feeling into the heart, feeling into the lungs, noticing how the ribs expand and contract with the breath. Flowing further down into the belly, feeling into all the organs resting behind the abdomen. Noticing how the breath causes the belly to rise and fall. And coming down into the pelvic floor. Feeling into this space. Bringing your awareness to your upper back. Coming down to your shoulder blades, the backs of the ribs. Feeling into the lower back. Bringing all of your attention inside your glutes. Running your attention down the length of each leg. Relaxing any tension along the way. Coming out to the ankles, tops of the feet, into each toe, and the soles of your feet. Breathing deeply as you feel inside of your entire body. Now allowing your intuition to settle on today's intention. This intention can stay with you throughout the practice on the mat. It may also leave with you as you step off the mat into your day. Some examples of intentions using the energy of Mercury in Aries might be: I am decisive. I am assertive. I make quick decisions, but trust my intuition. Choosing whichever intention resonates with you today or creating your own. Matching breath to movement, reaching the palms up to the sky on an inhale, collecting all of the energy around us, meeting the palms at the top, and as you exhale, drawing your hands down the center line, settling the intention deep into your heart. Inhale, rise the arms up, collecting all of the Mercury energy. And as you exhale, drawing that intention, settling it deep into your heart chakra. One more deep inhale, reaching the arms up above head. And exhale, drawing all of that Aries energy with that intention down deep into your heart. Wonderful. On an inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, press the left fingertips out to the side as you reach over towards the left, warming up the right side of the body. Inhale to rise, switching the arms, and on an exhale, reaching over to the right. Moving through a few rounds at your own pace, either choosing to inhale to reach and exhale to stretch, or perhaps staying on one side for a few breaths, whatever your body is calling you to today. Spiraling the ribcage up towards the sky, feeling the heat being generated in the sides of your body. When you're ready, meeting me back in the middle. Warming up the hips ever so briefly here, taking a deep inhale, reaching the crown of your head up to the sky, and as you exhale, gently folding forward here over your legs, whatever position your legs are in. allowing your torso to melt down to the ground. And then using your hands to walk yourself back up. If your legs are crossed, let's switch the crossing of your legs. If your legs aren't crossed, we'll just take another forward bend where you are. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, reaching over, folding forward here. Allowing your head and neck to relax, sending the breath to any areas of tension you may be feeling. And using your hands to walk yourself back up. Meeting me in a tabletop position. Keeping the fingers spread wide, taking pressure off of the wrists. Keeping your shoulders directly over the wrists and your hips directly over your knees. Pressing the tops of the feet strongly down into the mat. Moving through a few rounds of cat-cow. On an inhale, drop the belly, lift the hips, lift the head. And on an exhale, round through the spine. Press the space between the shoulder blades up to the sky. Reach the crown of your head towards the front of your hips. Inhale to cow, drop the belly, reach those hips high, press through the palms. And exhale, round through the back, reach the crown of your head towards the hips. Moving here at your own pace, matching breath to movement. Noticing how these stretches feel on your lower back. Noticing how this feels on your neck and shoulders. An option to stay here in cat-cow, or perhaps to bring some more movement into your tabletop, circling around one direction. Feeling into all four corners of the wrists as you circle. Feeling into the hips, the shoulders. Switching the direction of your circle when you're ready. Perhaps rocking side to side. Just listening to your body, doing whatever it calls you to do. Warming up all of the joints. Wonderful. Meeting me back in a tabletop position. We're going to run through, thread the needle, but we're going to warm up a few times first. So plant that right palm down deep into the mat, spreading your fingers wide. On an inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky, opening your chest. And on an exhale, thread the needle underneath your right arm just a little bit. And then as we inhale, reaching back up to the sky. Exhale, threading the needle, not dropping all the way down just yet. Inhale, reaching up to the sky, opening the chest. Exhale, thread the needle a little bit farther. And last time, inhale, reach that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, placing the left shoulder down against the mat, left side of the face. An option here to place your right fingertips out in front of you for a shoulder stretch. Or opening the chest by placing your right hand on the small of your back, allowing that right shoulder to open up to the sky. Whatever feels good for you today. Oops, I told you not to use the word good. Whatever feels right for you today. Breathing here, sending your breath to any areas of tension you may be feeling. Noticing how perhaps you have a different texture underneath your left hand, different texture than the mat. Just noticing the similarities and differences between your mat and perhaps the other surface. Placing that right hand underneath the right shoulder, pressing into the right hand to lift yourself back up into a tabletop position. And preparing the left hand, spreading the fingers wide, keeping the left shoulder over the left wrist. Inhale that right arm up to the sky, open the chest. Exhale, gently thread the needle. Inhale, reaching those fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, coming through just a little bit. Inhale, reach those right fingertips up, open that chest. Exhale, coming through to thread. One last time, reaching up towards the sky. And exhale, thread the needle, settling that right shoulder down to the mat, right side of the face. Option to place those left fingertips out in front of you, or placing that left hand on the small of your back. Taking the time here to tune back into today's intention. Placing that left hand underneath the left shoulder, pressing into the left hand, coming back up to your tabletop. And then just having a nice gentle seat on your heels. So what I forgot to mention in the beginning is that Aries rules the head. So we have all this Mercury internal head stuff going on in Aries, the sign of the head. So we are going to move into rabbit pose just to signify grounding our new thoughts, grounding our new ideas into reality, into what is real. So placing your hands around your heels here. We're going to lift our hips as we reach the crown of our head down to the mat, reaching our forehead towards our knees. So grasping your heels, lifting the hips, pressing the tops of the shoulder blades up towards the sky. Resting the crown of your head against the mat, reaching that forehead towards your knees. Feeling your shoulders pulling against where your hands are grabbing onto your heels. And actively pressing those hips up to the sky, pressing the space between the shoulder blades up to the sky. Feeling all of those new ideas, all of those quick thoughts being grounded down into Mother Earth. Taking one more deep breath here. On your next exhale, resting your sit bones back down to your heels. And slowly rolling back up. Beautiful. Maybe rolling the shoulders back a few times. Lovely. Coming back into tabletop. Placing your weight in the right hand. I had a brain fart. Placing your weight in your left leg. We're going to reach that right leg out behind us. When you're ready, placing your weight in your right hand, placing the left hand out in front of us. Feeling your balance here, feeling your strength. Tuning in to make sure that you're not leaning far back, or you might be leaning a little bit far forward. Trying to keep that right shoulder over the right wrist, left hip over the left knee. On an inhale, drawing the right knee in towards the left elbow. Exhale, expand, reaching out. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, reaching out. One more inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, reaching out. Coming back down to your tabletop. Readjusting, keeping those shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. And shifting your weight into the right leg as you reach that left leg out behind you. Spreading those left fingertips wide. And when you're ready, reaching that right arm up straight out in front of you. Tuning in with where your shoulders are, where your hips are. Finding your balance. And on an inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, reach. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, reach. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, reach. And settling back down to the tabletop position. Wonderful. Flipping the toes here, coming into a plank. So spreading those fingers wide, keeping the shoulders over the wrists to take pressure off of the wrists here. Option to stay here or creating a little bit of heat in your core by taking that right elbow, or taking the right knee, bringing it up towards the right elbow, and then exhale back. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Exhale, return. If at any point you need to drop down into your tabletop position, do so. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, back to plank. Let's do one more on either side. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale to plank. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale to plank. Lovely. Let's take our feet and walk them up to our hands, resting for a moment here in a forward fold. Keeping your knees bent as much as you need to warm up the backs of the legs. Allowing your head and neck to relax. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the shins, reach the crown of the head away from the tailbone with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, bringing your hands up above head, meeting at the top. And exhale, drawing your hands down that center line to your heart chakra. If you have blocks available, bringing them to the top of your mat, just in case. Using our legs, warming up our legs here. We're going to stand at the very top of our mat. On an inhale, step the right foot back, hands come up. We're coming into warrior one. So the left knee bent, toes towards the front of the mat, and your right leg will be at about a 45-degree angle. Toes out at an angle. Feeling strong here in your warrior one. On an inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, back to warrior one. Drop your hands down behind your back. Interlace your fingers. On an inhale, press the knuckles down to the ground, lift the chest. And on an exhale, folding forward here, coming into humble warrior. Keeping that deep bend in your left knee, pressing through the pinky edge of the right foot. Feeling the deep release in your shoulders, allowing your head to relax. On an inhale, rising back up to Warrior One. And then straightening that front leg. Coming here into pyramid pose. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, lengthen the spine. And on an exhale, folding forward over that left leg. Pressing the left hip to the back of the room, feeling the expansion on the back of the left leg. Feeling the heat running through your legs. Inhale to a halfway lift here. Perhaps reaching for your blocks as we step into Warrior Three. So bending that left leg, walking the right toes up slightly, and when you're ready, straightening up that left leg, bringing the right leg out behind you. Coming into Warrior Three. Reaching for the blocks if needed, or option to reach the hands out in front of you. Perhaps bringing your hands to prayer pose at your heart center, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Keeping your hips square here in Warrior Three, keeping that right hip pointed down towards the floor. Keeping your chest slightly lifted, not collapsing down to the ground. Taking one more deep breath wherever you are. And on an exhale, stepping the right foot to meet the left at the top of your mat. Nicely done. Same flow on the other side. Inhale, step the left foot back into Warrior One. Deep bend in the right leg. Left toes turned out at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale, reach the fingers up to the sky. Exhale, slight back bend. Inhale to come up. Exhale to interlace the fingers. Inhale, press the knuckles down, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Allowing the head and neck to relax. Keeping a deep bend in that front leg. Bowing down to your greatness. On an inhale, reaching back up to Warrior One. Straightening out the front leg on an exhale. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, lengthen the spine. And on an exhale, folding forward here in pyramid. Staying here for 3 breaths. Sending the breath to any areas of tension you may be feeling. Tuning in with how the mat feels underneath your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend in that front leg, reaching for your blocks, if you choose. Tiptoeing that left foot up to the front of the mat. And when you're ready, straightening out the right leg, lifting that left leg behind you, coming into Warrior Three. Pointing the front of the left hip down to the mat, trying not to open the hips, keeping them square to the mat. Hands either on the blocks, straight out in front of you, perhaps in prayer. Just noticing similarities and differences between the left leg and the right leg, without placing judgment. Keeping the chest slightly lifted, reaching the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Taking one more deep breath here. On an exhale, stepping that left foot down to meet the right. Nicely, nicely done. On an inhale, reaching the arms out to the sides, stepping the right foot back to warrior two. So the left toes are straight to the front of the mat, deep bend in the knee, straight to the front of the mat. The right toes are facing the side of the mat, left heel in line with the arch of the right foot. Hips and shoulders square to the mat. Your hands reach side to side. Beautiful. Settling into your warrior two. Straightening out that left leg. We're going to move into triangle. So first shifting your shoulders over to the left, then allowing your left arm to reach down to the mat. Opening that right hand up to the sky, shining your chest open. Beautiful. Breathing here. Gazing up at the right fingertips. Just noticing the difference in your hips between triangle, where we are now, and pyramid, where we were after warrior one. Placing your left hand on a block, maybe in front of the toes. Bending that left knee as you step your right foot up, coming now into half moon. So having your hips square to the front of the mat now. Opening up to the sky. Placing your gaze on an object about 3 feet in front of the mat, something still to focus your attention on. Breathing here. Feeling that long line of energy from your head down to your foot. Beautiful. Perhaps rotating through here to a warrior three. Pointing that right hip down towards the ground. And on an exhale, stepping that right foot to meet the left. You can stay where you are, but I'm switching sides. Coming to the top of your mat once again. Inhale, step the left foot back into warrior two. So the right toes, right knee towards the front of the mat. Left toes at a 90-degree angle facing the side of the mat. Keeping your shoulders and your hips square to the side of the mat. Beautiful. Deep bend in that front leg. Feel the energy moving from middle finger to middle finger. Straightening out the front leg. Reaching the shoulders to the right first. Then letting that right hand reach down towards the ground. Gazing up at the left fingertips here in triangle. Feel the expansion on the left side of your body here. Tuning back into today's intention. Feeling the heat, feeling the fire moving through your body. reaching for that block with your right hand, bending that right leg as you tiptoe your left toes closer up. When you're ready, pressing into that left leg, that right leg, lifting the left arm up to the sky, coming into half moon. Beautiful. Rotating your hips open now. So the side of your left hip is pointing straight up to the sky. Wonderful. Finding your balance, finding your power, finding your strength. Breathing deeply, don't forget to breathe. And perhaps rotating through to a warrior 3 here. Before stepping that left foot down to meet the right. Wonderful, wonderful job. Perhaps using a block here for your sit bones as we move down to Malasana, yogi squat. So turning out your toes just about 45 degrees from each other. Feet about hip width apart. If your hips are tight, I would walk your feet out just a little bit more. And lowering down, keeping the heels on the ground. And if you need some support, bringing a block to whatever placement to rest your sit bones on here. Pressing your triceps into the inner thighs. Pressing the palms together. Slightly rotating that pelvis forward, just taking any unnecessary curvature out of your spine. Reaching the crown of your head up towards the sky, keeping the chest lifted here. Just imagining everything that no longer serves you pouring down from that root chakra, staying here on the mat. Lovely. When you're ready, finding your way onto your sit bones and coming down flat on your back. Taking the opportunity just to create a little more heat here. We're going to do just a few leg lifts. So perhaps this might look like a bent knee leg lift for you. Lifting from the ground. Bending your knees in towards your chest. Inhale to bend. And then exhale to let them down. Or perhaps today you are going for a straight leg lift. So inhale those legs. Reaching your toes up to the sky. Exhale, slowly lowering down. Moving at your own pace wherever you are. Inhale to lift the legs. Exhale to lower them down. If you need a little bit more assistance, taking your hands and placing them under your sit bones, lifting the hips just a little bit to give you some support as you lift those legs. Taking the time to create some heat in our core, creating stability when our minds might want to race. Taking 3 more lifts wherever you are. Relaxing your shoulders away from the ears. Knowing that coming down is just as, if not more important, than coming up. Lovely, lovely. Let's take that left knee and hug it into our chest, leaving the right leg flat against the mat. Placing our hands out to a T and crossing that left knee over to the right side of the body. Letting your drift fall over to the left. Perhaps placing your right hand on your left leg to deepen the stretch. Breathing deeply here through this supine twist. Tuning back into today's intention. When you're ready, untwisting from the neck first, then allowing that left hip to float back down to the mat. And switching your legs, drawing that right knee in towards your chest. Moving your arms out at a T. And on an exhale, crossing that right knee over towards the left. Drifting your gaze over to the right. Perhaps placing that left hand on the right leg to deepen the stretch. Feeling the temples relax, the jaw, the tongue, the neck, your shoulders. Using that exhale to let everything collapse. When you're ready, untwisting from the neck first, and allowing that right hip to float back down to the mat, coming into your final resting pose for Shavasana. Perhaps covering yourself with a blanket. Allowing your feet to flap out to the sides. And allowing your hands to rest gently just outside of your body. Closing down your eyes as you feel the weight of your body being completely supported by the floor. Feeling into the back of your head, your shoulders, the backs of your arms and hands, your upper back, mid back, lower back, and glutes. Feeling the backs of your thighs, calves, and heels of your feet. You are supported by Mother Earth. Beginning to focus your attention on your breath. Breathing rhythmically, deeply, and slowly. Using the breath to open the central channel of energy within your body by breathing the air in through the nose and watching it as it travels down your spine all the way to the root chakra in your pelvic floor. And on the exhale, watching your breath reach up the spine to the crown of your head. Inhaling the air through the nose, down to your root chakra. And exhaling the air up to the crown of your head. Continue for a few rounds in silence. Releasing the breath back to your natural rhythm. Feeling now as if there are roots growing down from the entire back of your body. Traveling down into Mother Earth. Pushing through the soil. Digging deeper and digging wider, firmly grounding yourself into Mother Earth. Welcoming in your guides or angels for any assistance they may have to offer now. Allowing permission for the Reiki energy to be received by intending to completely surrender to this Reiki energy as it nourishes your highest good. Bringing your focus now back inside of your body. Allowing your thoughts to flutter away as you receive this precious gift of time for yourself. Allow yourself to be fully present within your body, noticing anything that may rise to the surface as I keep track of the time. Returning your focus to your breath. Feeling into the weight of your body once again. Imagine a brilliant, glowing ball of fiery red light in the center of your chest. This warm ball of light surrounds your entire heart. On each inhale, this light becomes brighter and more vibrant. And on the exhale, the ball begins to grow in every direction throughout your body. Inhaling as the light shines brighter, and exhaling as the ball grows larger and larger until it encompasses your entire body. The red light slowly fades away as the connection to this Reiki energy transmission closes, allowing you to return home to yourself. Taking the time now to send gratitude to your guides and angels, and listening in to receive any last messages. Slowly beginning to bring some movement back to your body, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and ankles, perhaps looking from side to side, stretching out the body in whatever way it's calling you to. And bringing the palms of your hands together, rubbing them back and forth, creating friction, creating heat. Now cupping your palms over the eyes, and blinking the eyes open, allowing the light to peek in through the cracks. When you're ready, joining me in a seated position. Thank you for practicing with me today. Love to all. Namaste.